The Lord is our shepherd, I shall not want. Him maketh I lie down in a green pastures. Him leadeth I beside still water. Them him restoreth I soul. Him leadeth I in a path of righteousness for him name's sake. Yea, though I rasta go walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I can't fear no evil. For thy rod and thy staff them comforted I and I. Uno prepared a table before I in the presence of our enemy them. Uno anointed I head with uno oil, me cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy I go follow I all the days of I even. Me I go dwell in the house of the Lord God. Jah. Kadama we gromabia tela exag beer tanaista lina bashante shante 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 shante. Kadama we gromabia tela. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushodemo, where we speak truth to power. And my name, Black Rasta. Now, in every traditional African home, there is a black pot, and each time this black pot sits on the fire, there is something sumptuous cooking. Ingredients of so many different types, shapes, and sizes. Abandon all their differences and relegating all this into one corner. They relocate into the black pot where they are subjected to some amount of heating. They produce sumptuous food. Food that ironically is not even enjoyed by them, the black pot and the ingredients, but by us, the eaters. Yet every time they will rise to the occasion to produce food. This is the lesson we all have to learn. What lesson is this? The lesson of selflessness. How many people believe that tomorrow shall take care of itself, therefore let's have it all for today? How many people believe that anybody who is poor is lazy? How many people believe that it's by dint of hard work that they are able to reach wherever they are? Nothing else. My brother, my sister, this is a show of generational thinking. We are rewiring the mindsets of our people. Now, the greatest problem Africa has is not a problem of schools or roads or even hospitals. It's a problem of the mindset. If the average African's mindset was right, every other thing would be righted. Now, if the mindset is wrong, you can have it all. You will destroy everything and still look for new every time. That is a wrong mindset. But a correct mindset will make sure that it continues to rehabilitate. It continues to maintain whatever is there so that other sections can be fed if they are hungry. A good mindset is a mindset that will make sure that it doesn't sound like a tape on repeat every time you are looking for the same old things. There will not be any development if you keep running around in circles. Today, if you have a hospital provided, the next day it should be a school. Another day it should be a road. And then the fourth day it probably must be a dam. So you can have your water supply 100% for your irrigation. My brother, my sister. But if every time we are crying for one thing, it means we are running around in circles and nothing good can happen. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushodemo, where we speak truth to power. And my name is certainly Black Rasta. I want to say thank you so much for being part of this wonderful session. On this show, we don't criticize, but if we must criticize, we would only just criticize to build. That is why we say we are in the service of God and country. Now, the very good thing about the show is that here is a show of patriotism, not politics. Oh, yes. And I want to say thank you so much. I appreciate you. We are live on YouTube. Our YouTube channel is Black Empire Media. Black is spelled B-L-A-K-K. We are also live on YouTube. Our YouTube channel is Black Empire Media. We want to say thank you so much. Please click on the notification button. Yes, click on the notification button. And then also click on the subscription button so that anytime we are on, you would be the first person to be notified to watch me. We appreciate you and we never take you for granted. Do me a favor, please share the broadcast, like it, and also comment. We will be reading your comments in 2 tranches on the show. In the interim, I want to say thank you so much to ISIT. Now, ISIT is ISIT, which simply means in spirit, in truth. Oh, yes, in spirit, in truth. Yes. Now, ISIT is the newest social media platform that everybody's clamoring around. My brother, my sister, the good thing about ISIT is that if you are tired of always having to fight racism, nudity, and even violence on your social media platform, it's time to jump ships and join us on ISIT. With ISIT, you can go live, you can make video calls and audio calls, and at the same time, text messaging. With ISIT, there is no negativity. It's all positive. There are powerful algorithms that remove every negative thing before it even pops its head on ISIT. Connect with family and friends and make great memories. This cover a world that is so positive on ISIT. All you need to do is to download ISIT from Google Play and App Store, and you are on. Well, this is what it is. My name is Blakk Rasta. Come here. Today we have a number of issues to look at, and I need you to come along. Now, the very first story we are looking at today is on a very, very much disturbing note. Murder at McDAN'S salt mine. Now, who is McDAN? McDAN is Dr. Oh my God, have mercy, Daniel Macaulay. He's a businessman. He's worked very hard to be wherever he is today. My brother, my sister, he owns a lot of property around Ghana and beyond. He has the private jet outfit where he rents out private jets and some other such things around. He also has several other businesses in real estate and even beyond. One of his newest babies is what he has renamed the Electrochem, the Ada Lagoon. Now, the Ada Lagoon has become a place that so many people have come to be interested in, looking at the history of the place and looking at the spirituality attached to the Songo Lagoon and the salt that it produces. Today, we are not going to spend too much time going into the history of the lagoon. But to suffice it now, it has spiritual and traditional undertones. Now, somewhere in 1985, something terrible happened. And I would like to recount it. It's happening again today as we speak. And I want to warn you, we have some gory sides to show you. But be careful. Yes, viewer discretion is very, very, very much appreciated. Now, let me take you to 1985. On the 17th day of May, precisely, something interesting happened that broke the hearts of many. Many wept. There was bloodshed. An innocent woman lost her life. My brother, my sister, take me to the story of Ghana Web. In 1985, my brother, my sister, when a minister of state apologized for something. What did the minister apologize for? Watch this. Government apologizes to family of woman who was killed in police raid 32 years ago. My brother, this is a 2017 story. So it's 38 years now as we speak. And I'm taking you back to that story. Run the story, my youth. Watch me. It says, the government of the Republic of Ghana has rendered an apology for the death of Margaret Kuwonu 32 years after she was killed. And again, this was in 2017. Margaret Kuwonu was shot dead by a straight bullet in a police raid on salt winners in the Songo Lagoon at Bonikope in Adan on Friday the 17th of May 1985. I was only 11 years old. Following calls from the management of Vacuum Salt Company Limited that some communities around the lagoon had encroached on their concession. Please, I need you to listen to this attentively. There were 2 concessions. One of them was owned by Vacuum Salt Company. Vacuum Salt owned by Pinting. Today, they have what is known as Pambros at Makati, called the police and said some people at Bonikope in Ada had encroached on his concession and they were winning salt. In other words, they were stealing salt and the police came there. 17th May 1985. I was only 11 years old. Rawlings had staged his coup in 1979. Went back and brought Hilary Man in. In December, he took out Hilary Man and he was then the head of state of the Republic, Ghana. My brother, my sister, listen to the story. The communities around the Songo Lagoon had expressed dissatisfaction over the newly introduced model of privatization that increasingly posed a threat to communal access to the lagoon as a source of livelihood. Please, I need to read this again. Hey! History. If you know history, you will never get lost. There's nothing new under the sun. It comes round, round, and round. Watch me. I take it again. It says the communities along the Songo Lagoon had expressed dissatisfaction over the newly introduced model of privatization that increasingly posed a threat to communal access to the lagoon as a source of livelihood. In other words, the communities around the area were not happy about the privatization of the lagoon. And even at that time, there were two concessions. Vacuum Salt Company, owned by a painting. My brother, my sister, now owns Pambros. He's not alive anymore, but his children are running the place, his family. Called the police. Because the people of Ada at Bonikope did not like the way the lagoon was privatized and monopolized. So they went in there to also win some salt to be able to take care of their families, as it was ordered by the founder of that clan. We don't want to go too much into history, but tradition and culture say that the lagoon should never ever be monopolized. And after Margaret Kuwonu was shot, Rawlings at the time flew this helicopter all the way from Accra, landed in Bonikope, and carried the dead body of Margaret Kuwonu. Margaret Kuwonu was heavily pregnant at the time when the stray bullet hit her. My brother, my sister, Rawlings decided to invite some Cubans who were salt specialists to come over and diagnose the problem of the Songo Lagoon. And what did they say? They wrote that and documented it in a certain document known as the master plan. What is contained in the master plan? It said that under no circumstances should the Songo Lagoon be given to one person. In other words, it should never ever be privatized like that from length to the breadth. Number two, the master plan also suggested to the government of Ghana at the time that the people's livelihood depended so much on the Songo Lagoon, and for that matter, they should be given access to the lagoon. My brother, my sister, these were the two very important things contained right there inside the master plan. Time after time, some people have tried it in the past. It never worked. I spoke with McDAN. He mentioned some great names. People who tried to be part of the Songo Lagoon, but it didn't work for them. Names like Despite, Kwame Despite, names like Ibrahim Mahama, and even more. McDAN succeeded in getting a full monopoly of the Songo Lagoon, using the government in power, Nana Addo AKUFO-ADDO's NPP. It was ratified in Parliament that McDAN is the only person who is allowed full access to the Songo Lagoon, the length and breadth, and the people were supposed to stay away because McDAN said he would employ them. Something that the master plan that was propounded by the Cubans on the instruction of J.J. Rawlings said no to. My brother, my sister, now if you look at the story of Margaret Kuwonu, she was killed. And that was what brought in the Cubans to diagnose the problem. As long as the people have no access to the place, they are going to keep fighting because their livelihoods depend on that. McDAN cannot employ all the people of Ada. Number 2, the people of Bonikope are closest to the lagoon, where the salt comes out most, and they try as much as possible to feed on the lagoon. McDAN says, if I do not get a full monopoly, it doesn't make sense for me as a businessman to work there at the Songo Lagoon. He's a businessman and that's what he says. It behoves the government of Ghana to say that no, it will not inure to the benefit of the people. Therefore, you can't get it. We understand that if you don't get the whole thing, your business will not work well. But looking at our people and we put our people first, it's not going to work. We won't give it to you. But the government still went ahead and gave it to McDAN. McDAN took over the place and he has never had his peace. Now this thing that happened on the 17th of May in 1985, as you heard me read from that publication from 2017, my brother, my sister, has happened again. Look at the last paragraph here. It says the communities had been demanding a return to the communal values that recognize collective ownership of the Ada Songo Lagoon and insisted that those who lived closest to the resource must have an unrestricted right to it. I was just telling you that. So the people of Bonikope are closest to the lagoon and they feel like this was given to us by our ancestors. We must go in there and do it. McDAN and his electrochem say, no, we have full access to the thing. If we allow you into the lagoon, you are going to clog it, and the silting is going to cost me millions upon millions. For that matter, nobody goes in there. Continue with the story. Now, when you read the story further, it exposes more. The current district chief executive of the Ada West District, Mr. Ajote Lawe Akrofi, who made the apology on behalf of the government for the death of Margaret Kuwonu, a pregnant woman at the time of her death, called on the family of the deceased and the people of Bonikope in the Ada traditional area and pleaded that they get over the series of events surrounding her painful death. We all know about the stray bullet that killed Margaret Kuwonu. It was not intentional, but accidental. It will never have happened. It should never have happened. Listen. Her death is deeply regretted, and that is why former President Jerry John Rawlings came here when the incident occurred to mourn with her family. Run the story. He was speaking at an event organized by the Ada Songo Salt Women's Association, ASWA, to commemorate the 32nd anniversary of the death of Margaret Kuwonu, popularly known as Maggie. According to the district chief executive, the administration of President AKUFO-ADDO will do all it can to avoid the near occurrence of such an incident in the future by putting in place a conflict resolution mechanism with regard to the management of salt and all other resources in the country. I'm done. I'm finished like McDAN. Listen to the last paragraph I read. The Nana Akufo-Addo government said this will never happen. The death of Margaret Kuwonu on the 17th of May 1985, I was only 11 years old, will never happen again. My brother, they apologized to the people. They poured libation. They even built a statue. There was a statue. That's the statue. I was there personally. In the coming weeks, we're going to release a documentary about the agitations of the people in the area. We will look at McDAN'S side and look at the side of the people. This is the statue. Yes, the woman was shot and killed. They said it was a stray bullet. She was sitting in somebody's house. Her friend's house. She was not even out there to win salt. And a stray bullet from the salt winning site hit her in her friend's house. She was heavily pregnant. I spoke to the husband of this woman, and it was all tears. My brother, my sister, this happened 38 years ago on the 17th of May, 1985. This is the statue standing at Bonikope with the woman clad in white, calico, klala, with the unborn baby now born onto her shoulder, crying and saying, why? It looks like it has happened again. Today, photographs started going around social media. Some of them are very gory. This is the photo, a blurred photo of a man who has been shot and killed in Ada. Look at the empty shells lying by the dead body. My brother, my sister, the people of Ada gave me a call because they know that I am seriously interested in this Ada Songo issue. This is the dead body lying down, my brother. And it's sad. What happened? The same Bonikope where Margaret Kuwonu was shot and killed. The indigents said, we need our salt. They went in there and started to win the salt. And then Electrochem called the police the same way that vacuum salt called the police. Tema people that will kill. Well, we must have a balanced story. I got in contact with McDAN, who for some time now has opened his doors to me. Bring me the photo of McDAN. And he has opened his door to me for some time now, and he tells me any information that you need about the Songo Lagoon. Please hate at me, I'll tell you. I sent him the photographs, and I asked him to confirm if this happened at Electrochem. He said, yes, it happened at Electrochem. But McDAN is of a different view. And this he sent to me via text message. Run it, my youth. This is what McDAN says. He said this was done by their own. But looking at it, though, I don't want to draw my own conclusions. I believe it's a stone from their own people. You know, my task force doesn't use guns. Also, they went there with the police. Last week alone, they attacked us 2 times and attacked the police once and hurt the community. Those creating the violence had been hired from outside into the community. And the time that this message came to me, you can see it is about 2 hours ago. This is what McDAN says. He believes it was not a bullet that killed the man. He believed it was a stone held by the demonstrators or the people of Bonikope who went there to win. And he claims that the confusion in the area is not by the people of Ada. They rather bring people from outside. And finally, McDAN says that he is still investigating this issue. Is this not easy to investigate? Those empty bullet shells there, can we investigate forensically and find